you have X-ray vision? Are you strong enough to subdue a bulky interface? Can you leap tall buildings? No, forget that last one. Just be prepared for a workout when you play Ultimate Domain from the Software Toolworks. What we have here is a solid concept completely undercut by poor design. This game, set in the fantasy world of Genesia, pits you against two other players in a race to become the first to recover 7 of 9 lost jewels. Starting with 4 settlers and 1 territory, you're required to build your economy to the point where you're able to send your army out beyond your borders to seize unclaimed land, wipe out your enemies, and garner information about the legendary missing jewels. Unfortunately, your quest to become the crown jeweler is encumbered by the game's poor interface. To move around within Ultimate Domain, you move the mouse to the edge of the screen. This type of movement control has been mastered by countless other games, but it doesn't work well at all here. You'll often find yourself overshooting when you scroll the screen because it scrolls too fast. As a change of pace, the screen occasionally doesn't move at all. You can move around by using the arrow keys, but this is very slow. This all adds up to a lot of time wasted looking around for your people and buildings. A major problem since you have a limited amount of time during your turn. Then there's the problem of obstructions by flora and fauna. For instance, the only way you can gain access to the trade screen where you change your settlers' occupations is to click on a brown flag. Now, for 5 bonus points, find the flag on this screen. If you found it hidden behind these trees, your vision is much better than 20/20. Flags aren't the only things that drop out of view. In this shot, I've just used my cannon to blow away a tree because one of my army units was hidden behind it. I knew the unit was somewhere in that area, but I couldn't move it until I did a little full contact landscaping. Sure, I could have used the destruction icon, but my method was much more fun. Unmanageable mice aside, this is a sound strategy game that requires a lot of patience. It's very important to manage your settlers in a proper fashion early in the game. They're flexible and will perform any task you ask them to. Keep an eye on their morale, which is the key to expanding your population. Happy peasants get together and produce baby peasants, who quickly grow up and enter your service. Also, wandering nomads won't wander into your territory if the morale is low. Each of the 4 seasons constitutes 1 turn in the game, and each season brings a different set of conditions. Your outdoor workers, such as farmers and woodsmen, slow down in the heat of summer and literally hibernate during the dead of winter. White-collar types, such as inventors and specialists, stay indoors and work year-round. Technology is the key to blowing your opponents to hell and back later in the game, so you should get your inventors working as soon as possible. They're starting from scratch. The wheel hasn't even been invented yet, and their pool of knowledge builds in a logical fashion. You must build a workshop for your inventors to work in, and for your blacksmiths to build the inventions. Other important buildings that you'll need are a barracks, where you raise your army, raise your taxes, and propose alliances with the other players. A temple, where you store the jewels that you manage to find. And a tavern, where you'll be able to question travelers about the location of the missing jewels. There isn't much suspense over the outcome of your battles against opposing units, since the side with more firepower invariably wins. But the graphics took me back to the cartoons I used to watch when I was a kid. I half expected Yosemite Sam and Bugs Bunny to emerge from the cloud of smoke that denotes a battle. When your archers shoot an opposing unit, the damage you inflicted appears on the screen in bright red. Keep in mind that your soldiers are good for more than fighting. The jewels aren't necessarily in occupied territory, so it's a good idea to have a few units out wandering the land, trying to scoop up any stray baubles that might be lying around. Ultimate Domain is an entertaining game that demands a lot of time, since it takes a while to get to the point where you can start seriously challenging your opponents. It's just a damn shame that the designers buried an otherwise excellent game under an unmanageable interface.